Hey everybody, and welcome back to the Crypto Night Show. Your host Superman in the house for another absolute smasher because we've got so much alpha news to drop today. I hope you guys enjoy it. It is currently Saturday down under, still Friday, I guess, in the US of A. And we're going to have fun times covering the last day of the stock market, Friday. Then we get into the crypto majors. We've got tons of crypto news to talk about there. And then we're going to get into Pulse Chain and give an update about some of the projects on Pulse Chain as well, like SwitchX. What's it, a day or two into being live? So we're going to talk about the results there. Hopefully, that'll be fun. That'll be fun. So if you guys are watching on YouTube, don't forget to smash the subscribe on the way in. If you're watching on X, don't forget to smash the follow at the top. And of course, number one thing, repost. Help pump your own bags. That's how we rock and roll. That's how we rock and roll. So fun times ahead. All right, so let's get into it and smash that repost. I'm going to push a little heart there on the old post as well, and way to go on that one. All right, shall we get into it? Let's start off with the stock market news. We got tons of crypto news to talk about, some very big things. So we'll get into all of that today. All right, so let's start with the stock market. Obviously, we had a negative day after quite a few weeks of rallying. Stocks end roller coaster week on a negative note amid steep global bond sell-offs. So obviously, interesting happenings there with the bonds. We've got the Dow Jones down 1%, 537 points to 49,526. Remember, the high is pretty much 50,100, which you see there on the chart here. So we might go back to the yearly there. You can see that got the high back up here, 50,135, and we're down about 600 points, right? So S&P 500 is down 1.25%, but you can see we're just off the highs there over the last year, all-time highs. So we're down 1.25%, 93 points to 7,400, but still just off the highs there. Nasdaq down 1.5%, 410 points, 26,225, similar to S&P 500. We're only down just off the highs, and if we look at the last month, you can see that was just the other day on Thursday. There we go, which is kind of yesterday, right? So we're down today. Into the weekend, but we've had some pretty good, impressive rallies, as you can see over the last month. That just goes up and away, and some profit taking going on there. S&P 500 volatile index is up 6.8%, 1 points to 18.4. So we get down to as low as maybe 15, 16. We've been around 17 or 18, and of course, when the worst of the Iranian issue was on at the beginning, we went up to about 30 on the volatile index. This give you a range between risk on and risk off, right? That's kind of where we are there. All right, moving into the US dollar, we've got the US dollar strengthening over the last month. Look at that, we're up at 99. Remember when Trump got into power, it was 108 as a reference point. So we're half a point there, so US dollar getting stronger. West Texas is up 4%, at $4.25 at $105.40. Obviously, the Iranian conflict's ongoing, but really, if you can cool the politics, then the blockade is doing its thing, right? It is, winding the economy of Iran down, and that's putting increasing pressure, particularly the oil. So we're going to see a bit of a tit for tat for there. But I'm no doubt the Americans are looking to secure things up even more. I've got Property Review in the house there. Great channel. Crypto's finest. Love the new intro. I appreciate that. Big shout out for that to a Property Review channel. We've got Brent oil at $109.26, so up as well, 3.3%, $3.50. So we've still got elevated oil prices there. Not quite, probably up about 85% premium against the base price. Gold there is 2.6% decrease there, down $123 to $4,569. Now, if we have a look at the last year, you can see we've got higher lows, right? We've got higher lows going in there for gold, which is pretty bad. I think I'm going to sneeze here. Don't want to sneeze on live stream, that's for sure. We've got silver at the moment is down 9%, $7.78, down to $77.54. And we've had lower highs, but we had this little jump up here. So we'll have to see where silver goes. Obviously, silver is going to be required in a lot of modern electronics for the AI boom, and the compute power has to be something like 1,000x from where we are, probably at least 2x, but it's probably going to be much bigger depending on how far you're going to go with AI and automation and everything else. Silver at the moment is down, like I said, is down 9%. Copper is down almost 5%. 31 cents to $6.30. and that's been doing pretty well also, hasn't it? Just come off the high there. Woohoo! So a bit of a red day, but coming off the highs. What else are we going to say about that? Some commentary from Mark Lucchini, Chief Investment Strategist, says stocks were overbought and due for something to catalyze to a pullback. Today's move in oil prices, so they've gone up, and rates seem to have been just that. The 10-year Treasury are pushing towards 4.6%, so interest rates going up there and poised a break above is a level that has given equity investors heartburn in the recent past, prompting corrections in prices. So there we go. A couple of those things with renewed surge in oil prices and the lengthening duration of the Strait of Hormuz close amounts seeping worries of persistent inflation and prospects for a more hawkish monetary policy. In other words, interest rates going up rather than going down, like a dovish one. Economic news today and in general terms remains quite good, so I view this as profit-taking exercise more than the odds of a steep protracted decline in the market, and that's probably the key takeaway for us today. There we go. China, of course, Trump was had the awesome state visit with China. That went pretty good overall. Trump took 30 top world-class CEOs to make deals. I'm sure a lot of those deals were being made, and they also take a couple of months afterwards, right, to secure. So that was I think, a pretty successful state visit. All things considered. So that's kind of it right now. We're going to jump away from the bond market. So that's pretty much where we are on the old stocks. Let's quickly look at the economic calendar for next week, see if there's anything on the horizon that's worthy of note. So let's have a look at next week's news expected. So I'm going to next week. See what that's got. So Thursday next week, we've got crude oil, FOMC meeting minutes. That could be pretty interesting on Thursday. Next Friday, we've got the Philadelphia Manufacturing Index, Manufacturing PMI. So that's going to be of high interest, particularly around crypto, right? So that correlation to crypto, next Friday, a key date there. So keep that on your calendar. All right. So let's jump over to the crypto majors. Obviously, we had a correction in the stock market. We also had a correction in the crypto market. So total market cap 2.722 trillion, down 2.3%. Bitcoin at the moment 79,131. Keeps getting rejected from that 82,000 mark, which is the resistance as we've been talking about. We're down 2.3% on the 24 hours, 1.4% for the week. Ethereum is down 1.9% for the 24 hours, 3.4% for the week at 2,229. So Ethereum really being suppressed for 5 years, being suppressed there. BNB at number 4 is down 1.3% at $670, up 2.3% on the 27-day, which is kind of good. XRP down 3.2%, up 0.9% for the week. $1.44 at number 5. Number 7, Solana down 2.9% at $89.22, down 3.5% for the week. Tron is down 0.2% at 35 cents at number 8. That is up 0.4% for the week. And finally, our top 10, Dogecoin, down 3.1%, but still up 1.7% for the week at 11.2 cents there. So that's Doge. Top 100, let's have a look at that. We got Providence Hash up 7.2% on the 24-hour. Quant number 2 up 2.3%. Dixie up 2%. OKB, up 0.5% and just up 0.3%. Pretty modest day after we've had some pretty good results over the last couple of weeks on the top 100. Top 1 performers in the last week. So you had a 2x your Unibase UB token there, 100%. Flare up 16.7%, just up 11%, Dixie up 10%, and Quant up 7.6%. So those are the leaders in the last week. So it's a much better, broader view of where things have gone on average that have kept their price, I guess. So that is pretty cool. And Unibase sitting at number 96 in the top 100 now. So there we go. See where that will go in the future. Maybe some profit taking there too. Who knows? Top gainers there. GitLaw in the top 1,000. Xsphere and AI Rig Complex. They're all up between 30 and 50% in the top 1,000. And trending overall, we've got Solana, Bitcoin, and BitTensor. All of them are down though today, but they're trending. Everyone likes trending down coins. Jumping over to the Bitcoin majors, let's have a look at that. So Bitcoin right now is this is the hourly chart. You can see how violent it was, right? Look at this big rally. So it essentially rallied here at $79,228. Rallied all the way up, woohoo, to 82,000. Got rejected again, and down we came. with the rest of the market there. Pretty brutal, just when you think things are starting to get exciting. So let's go to the daily chart and watch this resistance here. Look at that. that 200-day moving average for Bitcoin is now at 81,920, so it's just below 82k. And look at that resistance, bing, 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 bing. And look at this, we're basically up and down almost the same the next day. It's just so brutal. Imagine trying to take perpetual positions in here, particularly going long. You get hashtag wrecked, right? Yeah, $79,126 right now. But look what's happening with the structure. We've got the 50-day moving up. So that gives me great confidence with the momentum. So 50-day moving up. We're now at 76,726. And so we're just waiting for a market maker candle on the right day. Will it be Monday next week? And we'll get to that. Will it be Monday next week? Because the weekend might be a bit sluggish. And maybe we'll get some of that little manipulation on Sunday as usual. But maybe Monday, which will be Tuesday down under time, will be a breakout. And we've got possibly the news for that. We'll see. I don't want to bag all the claims, but because it could be a net a bit more modest, and we'll get to what I mean by that. So that is where we are on Bitcoin. Let's jump over to some of the catalysts that we've had this week, which have been spectacular. Probably not showing up in this chart a lot, and that is let me just pull that over. We're a bit ahead of ourselves there. We had Jerome Powell officially steps down after 8 years today. So good luck and good riddance. A pretty bad chair. Was super late to interest rate cuts. Remember that, and then went super fast and super high, record high, raising interest rates, absolutely brutal. And then, of course, has been very slow to decrease rates. I still think, even with inflation slightly high because the oil prices feeding into there recently, we should be down 50 basis points at least on the rates right now. But there we go. Sean O'Malley and House, they're up only indeed. Good to see you, Sean. So that is good news. Jerome Powell is gone, and we got Kevin Walsh in now. He's going to be at the next meeting, right? So look forward to him. All right, so we got Michael Saylor, of course, the number one digital asset treasury in the world. Yeah, boy, only getting bigger by a country mile. This last week, of course, we raised a huge amount of capital, but he's announced this today that they're going to repurchase 1.5 billion principal amount of their 2029 convertible notes. So they're getting rid of these claims and debts, and they're going to get rid of them at cheaper prices, right? So the convertible notes are out of the money by several $100 million. So that's a net benefit to MSTR/strategy. So that's a good move. So and that reduces their debt on the books, and I guess they're also their leverage as well to some degree. I mean it nets out with the capital raise, but that is pretty bullish. So that's a good move. Short term repay, kind of cool. Now they've got a number of ways they can do that, but they're probably going to do it through. Maybe the stretch product raise that they just did. They just raised $2 billion this week. So maybe that's what will happen there. So we'll see. Wookie says, get lost, pal. Absolutely get lost, pal. Sean and House there, heading back from Perth, 5-hour plus flight. Wow. Okay, all the best for that. That's a bit of a decent flight too, isn't it? 2 movies at least, maybe 3 movies in there. 3 movies. You'll probably sleep half of it, right, Sean? And then you'll party up the other half with the waitress. Bring the beers. All right, so that's kind of cool. That is so that's big news. And the other big news, of course, with Stretch. Stretch is, of course, the preferred stock offered by Strategy, and they raised a whopping amount of money, didn't they? A whopping amount of money this week. So equivalent 2,500 on Monday, a Bitcoin, to 3,000 on Tuesday. So it's 5,000. 5,500, and then they raised another 5,000. So you're now up to 10,600 on Wednesday, and then Thursday a whopping 14. So you're up to close to 25, around 25,000 Bitcoin. Now the question is that raises about $2 billion or more, right? To over $2 billion. So the question is, $2.5 billion they've basically raised. Is are they going to use some of that for that retiring that preferred? Are they going to use all that 1.5, other 2.5, and therefore we'll net out? We won't have 25k reported. we'll have something like maybe 6 to 7.5K, something like that, Bitcoin acquired. So we're going to see how that plays out. Maybe they'll just go all Bitcoin this time. I don't know. They didn't give us the timing, but the fact that they put out the news about that before the announcement next week suggests that they wanted to get that out of the way. And then we'll see whether they net out the revenue to pay down those convertible notes and the claims that those provide, as well as report a lower net amount of Bitcoin, not 25K, but maybe something like 7.5K, something like that. We'll see what happens on Monday. But either way, it's bullish because both of those are bullish, particularly for MSTR. So we'll keep a lookout for that, guys. All right. So that is Stretch. So hyper bullish news there. The other big thing associated to strategy is a lot of the third layer protocols and businesses being set up. One of those leaders is Strive. So ASST on the stock market there. CEO Matt Cole rings the opening bell to kick off the trading day at NASDAQ. That was today, Friday, the world's first daily dividend paying a Bitcoin-backed credit issuer starting June the 16th. So next week we could see the best time to enter their preferred stock, which should be SATA, because that's going to be open. At least it's the opposite 2 weeks to the Stretch product in terms of record and dividend payouts. And so I think the record date's the 30th, the end of the month of each month, and compared to Stretch, which is the 15th. So we'll watch this, and so they've moved record to paying daily dividends. So well, they were actually weekday, which is about 250 dividends a day. So earning I think it's 13% yield. 13% yield. So if you're in retirement or if you're wanting to earn high income yield, you don't want to earn 2% in a bank. You can earn 11.5% and get paid virtually daily on the yield, which means as a compounding bonus as well, right? So it's a big deal. Now, this isn't DeFi income, so it's not like farming on Emmett Farm or True Farm or something like that with high DeFi yield. This is just a standard sort of preferred stock / bond kind of levels, but they've just upped the level, right? So instead of 2 to 4%, you're getting 11.5 to 13%. So it's a game changer, guys. Game changer. So pretty exciting there. Now, just like strategy, like MSTR and Stretch, you have Strive and SATA. So that gives you ideas. So Strive is the common stock. It accumulates Bitcoin. It does that through SATA. SATA has its own raise, just like Stretch. It's just a smaller version, but it's they've recently paid down the debt, so they're actually looking really good. And that's what strategy is trying to do: is pay down, get rid of debt obligations, and get to that where they don't have the debt side of things. So this is a really big deal. I hope you guys see this. This is all really huge stuff, and it's getting the adoption. It's absolutely vampiring the debt markets, guys. It's a big deal. That's why I keep focusing on it. Not only is it great potential products, it's something that people might consider, but it's a game changer. Imagine, like I always make the analogy, if you've got your neighbor and they're retired, for example, I'm just using retired people. You don't have to be retired, but if you're retired, they might be earning 2% in the bank with their term deposits or certificate deposits rolling over, every month, every 90 days, or whatever they're doing, every year. The type, and or you could be having some SATA or some Stretch product and earning 11.5 to 13%. And so it's a night and day, right? They're driving around their old Toyota, for example, or even worse, maybe Toyota's fantastic cars, of course, but they driving around something like that, and you're driving around your latest Tesla, which you get upgraded. It's like the yield difference is night and day. So pretty awesome. All right, so that is the bell being rung. So did we play that? I don't know if we did, but let's play the video. All right, so that is the first, as I understand it, the first daily dividend-paying back credit issuer in the world, and that's innovation from crypto, guys. So you can see how crypto is disruptive, and that's pretty exciting, right? Pretty exciting. So big stuff there. So let's zoom in on that a little bit. So Strive, of course, offers the SATA product. They've got an announcement video they did on the 14th here, so you can go watch that full video. That's on Strive. And of course, they did the NASDAQ launch, which is pretty cool. Yeah, very neat stuff there. Now, they are kicking it off on June the 16th, guys. They celebrate SATA switching to daily dividends on the 16th, which means that you should be able to get an ex-dividend date discount on SATA before this happens. Because after this happens, it probably won't get that discount anymore because the dividend's paying out so often. Rather than paying out once a month, they're going to be paying out 250 times a year. So there's going to be, I think, a one-off opportunity. Now, the market knows this, right? So it's not like we'll see whether on the last one it does sell off at all. Certainly, you can go have a look at the chart, but it's certainly a possibility. You might get that last one there. I think there's one more month left of it, so that's a bit of an opportunity there potentially. SATA 13% dividend paid daily. I mean, think about that, guys. It's insanity. Like, not looking at DeFi farms, which is more high risk return, just a more safer return based on the idea of Bitcoin itself, right? Collateralizing Bitcoin. So if you're in that, you want a much more conservative way of earning high yield, then you're happy with 13%, which is spectacular compared to banks. Then you see where the game changer is there. And so, yeah, pretty exciting there. So some pretty big news there, and that is a game changer. So not bad. All right. So remember that Stretch from Strategy is going through vote at the moment to do twice monthly or bi-monthly dividends. So every fortnight, whereas this one here is offering a 13% on the SATA. There's a SATA one. So the SATA is the preferred stocks like Stretch, and ASST is the common stock like Strategy MSDR. And that's the one that. So when they do the SATA, they bought overnight. They actually accumulated enough debt issuance to buy 250 Bitcoin, and they've got still about 10 more days before they go ex dividend. So they could end up accumulating 2.5, 3,500 Bitcoin themselves. I mean, think about this, guys. This is in addition to Strategy, Stretch. So you see what happens is that these are other entities coming in to buy up the Bitcoin, and we've got also Japanese one coming in as well. I mean, they're just starting to launch more and more of them, and there's at least probably half a dozen that I can think of that are coming. So they're all eating up the Bitcoin. That's basically what I'm saying. So just take note. Pretty big deal there. Sean says, I hope Peacock fly more than me, says Sean. A nice one, Sean, there. Well, we will be covering Liberty Swap updates. We're going to go check them out today. Wookie says, Toyota are not as good as they used to be. Is that right? Okay, yeah. Well, I've had a few Toyotas. They seem pretty good, but maybe they've dropped in the ball there. I don't know. We certainly had, remember the Koreans used to, they made really bad at making cars, and they're pretty good now, aren't they? Not North Korean. Not North Korean. Fast Abdul says, I'm here for the tech. He is indeed. We're looking forward to Vault 369, man. Looks like Brandon launched before you on the old SwitchX. And what question is for you, Fast Abdul, today? Will SwitchX be used as collateral for inside Vault 369, just like VPulse and ProveX? Let us know. All right, so exciting times. What's a bit of competition amongst friends, and a bit of collab amongst friends as well. Lots of love out there. All right, so that's pretty big news. Hope you guys are getting the gist of that. It's pretty neat. Let's go to Ethereum. Ethereum right now, similar volatility. We're at 2,227, bouncing off some 2,200. So we've actually got down pretty low. That was pretty low actually, but we're back up at 2,227. On the hourly, so and everyone enjoying that volatility. The daily, at the moment, we are at we're broken down this little penalty thing triangle, and so that's broken down now. So we might as well get rid of that. At least we've still got the resistance level, I guess. So yeah, let's see. We've still got a bit of work. We're going to get it back over $2,270, and this doesn't look as healthy as the Bitcoin one, does it? So we've got a bit of work to do there. We don't have all these preferred stock debt products buying up Ethereum. We don't have that in the market. We've got the Bitcoin guys are going for the preferred stock, raising capital in the debt markets and buying Bitcoin up. We had a whole ton of digital asset treasuries last year, but the only one that was really buying anymore was Bitcoin Immersion, and last week they reduced from 101,000 to 26,000. No doubt when we get Monday's announcement next week, it will probably be pretty similar. And so we don't have even the digital asset treasuries accumulating at rates that they were, and also we don't have any debt products, raising debt and buying Ethereum up. So definitely a bit more lackluster in the old Ethereum, and we are suppressed still after under 5K, and here we are all the way down at 2,227. Certainly undervalued. Now, with that said, obviously Tom Lee and others are working on bringing finance over to Ethereum. We already see that happening, so it is happening, but the price is going to lag, and that's pretty much it before some market makers and accumulators continue to come in again. So even though we had millions and millions of Ethereum bought up last year and this year by the digital asset treasuries, we have obviously got new staked ETFs coming in as well. And so that should help as well when we get a bit of a move on. But we're just lagging behind the old Bitcoin there. But finance is coming and adoption is coming. Tokenization is ramping up. We saw Ondo the other day. We've got many other players ramping in there as well. Was it DGTT, I think it was, or CC or whatever? They're coming in too. So there is still going to happen, and it is going to ramp up. This is probably just a short-term little opportunity before we really do have another go with other entities buying up Ethereum. And no doubt Bitmain will continue to buy at least another 25,000 a week, I would say, and hit that 5% by the end of the year. But they are bringing over finance. There's lots of other bigger things happening with Beast Industries, Mr. Beast, and institutions. And we see that in the stablecoin tokenization numbers. And agentic AI is really starting to take off too. And that's going to be absolutely ballistic, right? Because there can be so many accounts for AI agents. It's going to be crazy. Something we'll look out for on Pulse Chain too. I guess we get some more players trying to do activities or businesses like that. We'll see. All right, so that is kind of cool. That is where we are. So we've got a much flatter 50 daily moving average now. It is at $2,270. We are down below that by about $40. And we've got the 200 moving here at 2,568, which means that we do need to get some catalyst. Maybe next week will be it. The Bitcoin news from the strategy and from Strive and others, and then from Bitcoin Immersion. We shall see what happens there. So we'll keep watching the space. All right, that brings us into Pulse Chain. Anyone like Pulse Chain? Put your hand up. Put your hand up there. And if you want. Nice to see everybody clapping about the old Pulse Chain. We're on day 1,099. So we're almost at 1,100 days since Pulse Chain launched on the 13th of May, 2023. A full system state copy fork of Ethereum a couple of days early on the 10th of May, 2023. So we've had our 3-year birthday just the other day. It was fun. I hope you guys had a celebratory champagne or something. Anyway, we've got Pulse Chain. We're going to talk about Pulse Chain chart. And that is sitting at 507467. So we are fighting to find the bottom, and so far we're doing well, actually doing it. When do we emerge from in greatness from the ashes? The phoenix rises in its golden glory. We shall see. But we're down 0.25% today. Not too bad. We got Hex at the moment at 1,300 penny, down up 1%. So that's kind of cool. PHEX. ProveX is actually up almost 1% at 4055. PulseX at the moment down 1.7% and this is rounded, but 506. And Ink Token there at 34 cents is down 1.3%. So a bit of a mixed bag amongst the Richard cores. Let's go to the Valas. Let's see how many we got. 50,914, pretty much the same we've had for the last 4 or 5 days since Rack and Rochelle bought another 1,000 for his Coin Mafia token. Let's have a look at the gas prices. Gas prices there, 700,000 beats. We're at 105 pulse for a PulseX swap right now, 00078. And bridge there. Let's look at the bridge values. This has been our main thing we've been looking at, right? Is the bridge. See what it comes up with. Drum roll. Do I have a drum roll? Oh, it's already come up, is it? I don't know. Drum roll. I don't know. Is that a drum roll? There we go. I was hoping it was going to time perfectly, but no surprise. Look at that. It's stuck in the matrix. It's like in the Matrix there. Do I do a refresh? What do you guys reckon? Refresh. Let's refresh. Probably make it worse, right? Refresh. Let's go again. Let's do it one more time. There's the bridge. Come on, bridge. You can do it. We believe in you. We believe in you. We're up at about 54 million yesterday, remember? We're up slightly off the bottom. No, it's just not loading. Let's leave it there and then come back. We'll come back. All right, so total market cap right now, total volume on Dex Screener for our top 100 trending. So there's a total volume excluding the balance of fork volumes, which is probably a little bit extra, is 3.5 million. So 3.5 million, pretty normal for a end of a week, I guess, or weekday. We've been stuck around this level, haven't we? 3.5 mil seems to be our friend. It's a friend we don't want. What do you call that? A friend we don't want? A frenemy? Is it a frenemy? I don't know. But 3.5 million. We got 24-hour transactions at 408,000, so that's higher, so that's good. And we're waiting. What we got? PulseX up here, our number one DEX, 9mm, which is a V2 DEX, 9mm, a V3 DEX. They've taken away, pay out their profits. They've been good. But we don't see SwitchX up here yet. So where is SwitchX? Are they even on the board? We're waiting for them to emerge as a beautiful, beautiful thing. We should suspect to see it behind 9mm here, in between Uniswap. So PulseX at the moment at 3.5 million is doing 3.1 million. 9mm is doing 281k, so let's say 300. And so we've only got about 100k left or so, spread amongst everything else. 26k is Uniswap, and the rest has got to be the SwitchX, right, which is not showing up here yet. So I don't know don't know whether it takes a couple of days or what's happening there, but we'll get to that in a minute. We'll get that in a minute. And it's exciting. I've been saying this for some time that I think we've got room for maybe 3 to 6 decent sized DEXs at least. Depends on as volume grows. But definitely that's an opportunity. Anyway, number one today, Payment. Been around for 17 days. That's a PDI thing, isn't it? A PDI thing. I think you put your PDI in, you get paid Payment. So it seems to be ticking away there. I haven't looked at the security of it, so you have to do it yourself as usual. But apparently it's up 228%. I'm not sure if it's a honeypot. Probably is. I don't know. It's it has had some selling, so maybe it's not. I haven't really checked. So, but just be careful with these things. Is a PDI thing. What's the warning there? 5% sell tax apparently. PDI. You put your PDI in. It's pretty weird, right? Because I mean, if it was a honeypot, you put your PDI in, you can't get it out. Everyone puts their PDI in, and then they just rug it and then dump the PDI again. Just another PDI bad news story. We'll see. But let us know in the chat there if you guys have been playing around with it. I really haven't been, entertaining it too much. Let's see. PTC, the Greys got 2 pairs, a Troper and Die. They're up 13-14%, so that's pretty good for them. Still sitting below. Still got 4 zeros. But not too far away, I guess, from 5 zeros. 4 zeros, 90-100, so it's getting there. Wartime, been around for 20 days. I haven't checked that one either, so you can check that. We'll have a quick look, but I have not checked this. You always got to do your own due diligence and check the things here. This one here's got warning audits may not be 100% accurate, so just note that. I mean, it's got 41 red flags, so it looks like this could be a bad one. So don't keep away from that probably. There's lots of honeypots and stuff that launches. I don't get to check them all, because I've got other things to do as well. Omega DAO, this is a good one. That was good. So that's up 10, almost 11%, and that is from Cabal King. So that's a fair playing field DeFi play, and you earn Hex. So you earn Hex from the volume. So it's basically got a reflection token. It's got locking though, so it's a bit different, like up to 10-year locking. And what's it got there? 2 issues. It's buy and sell tax, yeah. And that's Omega DAO. And we had an interview with the Cabal King the other day, so you can actually find an interview on this channel if you want to go back and look for that. So on YouTube and on X, pretty cool. So the tax buys largely Hex, so that's cool. One of the Richard cores. So that's doing well there. Volume 5,008k. That's nice. I think anything between like 5 and maybe even 4 and 7.5k for these retail DeFi plays is, and if it's consistent, that's really good results. I think you just sit there for a while. And if you're locking, this one's got locking, so if you're there for 10 years. Teddy Bear from James Maria and a Troper, man, all the way from number 6 all the way to number 13. They're dominating all those pairs. James Maria's up about 7-8% on all these pairs for Teddy Bear and a Troper. Gizmo, that's at number 14, up 4%. We've got PulseX pair in there as well. ZKP, so we talked about DeFi play, so Omega DAO from Cabal King and the Nexian team. And then we've got ZKP from Kairos and Emmett Farm, right? So That's up 3.5% there as well, doing 2,000 volumes, a little bit lower than what we've normally seen, but that's still another great DeFi play that's been one of our popular ones recently. I haven't interviewed Kairos for some time, but that is on the play. Let's have a look at the 51 pulse. So still looking very good. So volume a little bit lower, but so is the chain. Chain's a little bit demure, is it? A little bit demure. UFO in the mix as well, 2.5%, along with its PDC friends. We've got a hex pair in there. Halgo, hex derivative, up 2%. A reserve Tay from James Maria, I think that is 2%. And then Peacock in the mix here, sitting below just 1.1 cents, 2%, waiting for all the projects to launch, right? We're going to go review Liberty Swap, see what happens there, but that's sitting in the mix at number 23, number 4, up 2% for the day. What else is going on here? Zero Trust tied into Peacock. That's at 1.7%. Provex at the moment is down here, number 35, up 1.3%, sitting at 4 zeros at 5,500. We kind of talked about it before, but that is up 1.3%. Now, I think it's coming off a low, isn't it? The low? Yeah, it came off the low here. The low, this is on the 4-hourly charts. It got down to 4 zeros, 5,100. Now at 55, and on the 4 hour, there's a trader's view, so it's just below the 21 moving average. Very key, important that it gets over that. That would be a very nice signal if it can do that, get over the 21 moving average on the 4 hour, and on the daily, it's got to get all the way up to 6,100. So still work to be done. Was the bottom in yesterday on the 15th? We shall see. And of course, getting over the 21 4 hour may be a positive, just one of the signals that we're looking for there. The RSI on the daily is not fully oversold, but down there at 33. So we'll see where that lies. And of course, market cap, let's look at that, because you guys know I put my little bands on there. Look at that, we're right back in my bands. Look at that, isn't that cool? All right, there we go. All right, so enough of that. Swarm is at 33, that's down, up 1%. What else have we got going on here? BFF, another OG web chef thing, isn't it? Yeah, up 1%, number 40. Vouch from Jexa. We had Jexa on the show a couple of weeks back. Check that out as well, with the new capital staking and yield that's been offered in the flywheel. Liquid staking, it's like Lido or Rocket Pool. That's up almost 1% today, so kind of cool. What else we got going? Remember, number 43, up 30% from OG Web Chef. DAO token, one of our top meme tokens, up 1/5% there. And that's pretty much it. So we've got 49 pairs of green today. Everything else is slightly out of the money. And I think that everything, we've got 55 pairs that are worse than Pulse. So they're not on the Pulse ratio. They're lower than Pulse on here. And that starts off with Investor there. So let's go down to the bottom here. We're not going to go through all the tokens. But Pulse Bitcoin had a big profit taking going on. That was really rocketing too. From look at that. So the last day that has had someone's has gone and sold about there, $10,000 or so. So that's Pulse Bitcoin. Fat Sammy would be probably commentating on that. But that chart, look at that chart, beautiful. I guess it's just a matter of time before someone takes profits. Now, should we look at this chart a little bit just to talk about it a little bit, because it had this nice little rally here that was cool. Came down, some profit here and there, stayed up quite well. This is market cap. Let's go to the price here. Sorry, let's go to the price here. So I had this little top here that was cool, and then it came down, tested down here, and then it went back up. That was really cool. So it had a nice little rally. So that was a really great structure there. But as soon as this started happening here, as soon as that started happening, it looks like a rollover, right? And we see rollers all the time. And eventually someone big decides to take some money, and down it goes. So the question is it going to hold up here? I think it's more likely than not it will go down from here, especially over the weekend. But we'll see. We'll see whether the Pulse Bitcoin Council can make me a liar. Is that the way I say it? No, they're good guys. They're good guys. So we'll look at that as 3.6 cents. Perhaps Sammy's going, what the hell is he talking about? What the hell? What's he saying? What's he saying? I don't know what he's saying. All right, so that is the Pulse Bitcoin. We got Pepe on the top big meme coin forks or meme coins here. Pepe down 70% as well. Zendog tied in the Peacock down 13%. Curve tied into real estate. That's down 9% today. SCADA, pretty unique DeFi along with Nutra Supply. Pretty awesome team there doing their own niche tokenomics. Down 8% today. Staked ETH as well, often at the top of the line. Top performer is down 6% here. Emmett Farm down at $1.22. There's a bit of profit taking on that overnight. That's been holding up at about $1.30. It's $1.22 right now. Our top are pretty much APR Farm along with True Farms. And speaking of True Farms up here, that's at 60 cents right now, down 3%. And then we got Coin Mafia and Rack and Rochelle. That's down $1.93, so that's down 5% as well. Even though it's got 2,000 validators now supporting it. So, question over how that all works. You decide. You decide. They don't like drama. They don't like people talking about them. So, they'll come after you if they do. All right. So that is Mafia there. They literally are Mafia. It seems that all the Mafia projects, the Mafia communities are Mafia. There about that. What's with the Mafia? What's with the Mafia? We got the official bridge value, 53.9 million, guys. 53.9 million. So we're actually up on the 7 days, 0.4%, but we're down 7.8% on the 30-day. And you can see that in the bridge chart here. We had a high back here around about 25th, 26th of April of about 59 mil, and now we're down just below 54, but we have been slightly lower at 53 something, 53.3 or something. So we're up a little bit on the 7 day, but down over the 30 days there. We obviously want to see this step up, right? This will be another sign of turnaround. Is this value here? Will this be the low? Basically, are we at the low right now? And so that's one candidate. Where's Pulse Chain? So we're 1,099 days down the line. We've had this big yellow line here, 3 years of down chart. But we've never had structure looking like this that we do at the moment. And that is, we have got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 weeks, guys. 8 weeks. Don't think we've started the next week yet. 8 weeks here, moving sideways and at a relatively close range. And then we've had this long RSI just skimming along the bottom. Now, RSI is a good general indicator. Obviously, it's a little lagged, but it's a good general indicator of what's going on here, whether something's overbought, oversold. This is on the weekly candles. And so we can see something quite different happening both with the weekly candles and with the RSI compared to the history, right? So the history here, the RSI only briefly was here, and then we had a rally out of that, right? The RSI was down here for similar, like we were down here a long time at the RSI. It was down quite a bit here as well back in August through to May 24th through to August, and then we had a rally out of that. So that's kind of what we're looking forward to. We're going to get this yellow rise here and a rally. Now, if we do get the rally, it's likely to mean that we're going to end this downtrend once and for all, right? That's what we're looking for. This big yellow 3-year downtrend will be ended. That's the whole idea, right? What the profile in the future looks like is not a guarantee that it's just an uptrend, because it could be just a little baby uptrend. We break the lower lows, lower highs that we've got on this chart, right? So all these lower highs here. I think we need to get to 1,200, right, to begin that higher lows, right? We have to bust past it, get up to hopefully 1,700, 1,700, and then let some people take profits, right? Because they get a lot of cheap bags down here, right? And then we sort of bounce, if we can bounce off at 1,200 again, and then start ratcheting up. Doesn't necessarily mean that we're going to go for this green mega uptrend, but it could mean that at least we get higher and we just slowly creep up, slowly zigzag up there. So however that happens, that's kind of what we're looking forward to. And I think we're in the best zone we are in right now. We've certainly got all the big macro picture, the Bitcoin, Ethereum, the legislation. We're potentially going to hear from the White House and digital Bitcoin Strategic Reserve in the next couple of weeks. So that's all in play. We've got so much bullish stuff in play. Obviously, the only real negatives are the oil issue and the impact on inflation, which the longer that goes, the worse it is. Otherwise, it would just be a blip, right? A blip. So that's going to be something that Kevin Walsh is going to have to deal with. And so, yeah, I still think there's room for at least a 50 basis point cut, but we'll see what they do there. All right, so that's the time. We also got the manufacturing index, which is one of the two main variables tied into the crypto market. That is an expansion, so that's cool. The U.S. economy looking good. They're making lots of money with the oil prices. So there is, the U.S. is doing very well out of all this. And then we've obviously seen China say they're going to buy some more oil too. So everyone's coming to buy oil off the Americans. It might be a bit longer for the ships, but it's they're all getting their oil and gas, right? The Europeans, the Asians, you name it, they're all coming to get American oil and gas there. Drill, baby, drill. Who would have known? So that's kind of cool. So that is where we're heading at the moment. So kind of cool. Look at the 21 weekly moving average too. That's all the way down here now at 1157. So you can sort of see there's quite a convergence around this 1,200 mark, both horizontal candles and and the moving average there 21. So keep a look out for that, guys. But we need a market maker. We need some moves, and of course the macros to look good too. And we've got the Clarity Act going through its process. We are now 16th, so that probably a couple of weeks. I think it's going to the floor in June. We need 60 votes. 53 Republicans. I think there's 47 Democrats and 2 independents, and then there's the vice president, right? And we need 60 votes. We need we had 2. There were 13 versus 9 for the banking committee at the Senate that voted in favor of the markups, and there was over 100 amendments that got, I think, talked through. And so that's kind of where we are. So we've got 2 Democrats that voted on that 13. Will they stay voted? That's a question. Will they do us over? Who knows? But we need 60. So let's assume, hopefully we'd have all the Republicans. We don't lose 1 or 2. Sometimes we lose 1 or 2 of them. So let's say we do. If we have 53, all the Republicans, we need 7 Democrats and independents. And we got 2 of them that already voted in the committee. So hopefully they hold. And so that's kind of where that would get us to 50, 55. 2 independents. I don't know what the independents' views are, but that would take us to 57. And we would need 3 Democrats, right? So it's getting close on that one. And they're working overtime for the Clarity Act, but big deal there. So keep a look out for that coming up. All right, and we're probably going to get news around the Bitcoin Strategic Reserve and their budget neutral policies around that, right? So that's what they've indicated. So looking forward to that. June, a big month for us too. All right, so that is Pulse Chain. Let's jump into some of the project news. How we're doing for time? We're doing 46 minutes. Man, we're doing great. Now, Brandon's given us an update here. He says, just launched just over 24 hours. Well, I think it's more like 2 days, isn't it? 2 days. 11. No, he's right. 24 hours because he posted this way earlier. How many? He posted this like 12 hours ago. So that's correct. That's correct. Switchfight, which is about 2 days now since we're covering it, because I covered it 2 days ago, right, when it launched. SwitchX.fi launched just over 24 hours ago, which is 2 days now. Total TVL has already grown to from roughly 50K to just under 200K, which is pretty neat. Now, the TVL is very important because that's also going to help with the volume turnover. So you want to get a stronger TVL. Obviously, they want to go up from here to become a heavyweight player and get some real nice yields turning over. Some key SwitchX features: concentrated liquidity AMM pool. So remember, PulseX V2, 9mm V3, and this is V4, right? So V3, V4. So kind of cool. Concentrated liquidity AMM, automated liquidity manager. That's very popular. That should be very popular for LP providers. Single-sided liquidity deposits, adaptive volatility-based fees, MEV recapture, V33 governance, finite emissions, hard cap supply, 1 billion. Now, this is excellent, this tokenomics, but it does take time to play out, and it will depend on trading volumes, how profitable this is, and the growth of the platform, right? So just take note of that. And also will depend on the big players coming in and getting big positions, right, to hold up the value. It starts off with low emissions. So, that was 30 mil, 15 million was, I think, burn locked for the treasury, I guess, something like that. And then 15 million was for the people, and then people are burning a lot of it. Or at least we had over 500,000 in the first couple of hours. And so that's got to play. And then the emissions are coming out in the rewards, right? And the rewards for farms and the VE switch holders and the governance. So we'll see how all that plays out. Protocol fee buybacks, that's obviously very powerful, so positive. Auto locked farm rewards, permanent burn lock governance, and drip based rewards as well. And of course, it looks like it's on Epoch, so the Epoch is about a week. So there's a bit of gaming that could go on there, right? So at least I guess a week still is locked in, but there's a little bit of gaming. Maybe people lock in at the end. They have to support the right pools as well, right? So a little bit of game theory there. Benefits: LP earn swapper fees, farms earn emissions, farmers earn emissions, voters earn governance rewards, buybacks create ongoing demand, auto liquid management, auto locking reduces immediate salary pressure, emissions, and permanently after 2.5 years, governance can compound over time through VNFT participation. That compounding there could be quite useful. We're extremely early, so that is from them. Might as well do a repost on that. So there we go. Well done to the team. Unit says, congratulations on the successful launch. Indeed. In fact, I don't know. We got SwitchX. So we have a look. We're going to have Liberty Swap next. We're looking at the heavyweights launching. Can't wait for Fast Abdul to launch his Vault 369. Another little push there. Another little push. He's like, get lost. I'll do it sometime. Let's go to the analytics, and we can see that total value locked is around 200K. It's about 194 there. Obviously, it's moving around with the value of prices, right? So volume there, 38,000. So we saw that 9mm was about 290, I think it was. So 38, and we were missing that extra 50 to 100K. So that's SwitchX is obviously the difference there. And we want to see them up on Deck Screener. So I don't know how long that takes. Definitely Deck Screener is seeing the volumes, the decks, it's unregistered decks or something like that. So we'll see how that plays in. Fees, 58,000. So definitely want to get the volume up there on that as well. And fees pretty moderate. Remember when we first watched it, the first couple of hours, it was like $700-800 in the first sort of 6 hours or so. So obviously want to get the fees up there because that's the yield that's flowing through. That's additional to the Switch rewards because you obviously want good generation fees, but it's early days. So we'll keep a lookout in this volume. That's kind of what I'm key on is the volume. And we'll be looking forward to that. Now, there are, a lot of drivers that Brandon can push, so we'll be looking for all that too in the future, in terms of promotions and things like that. What else? Rewards, voter rewards. Now, we're not going to spend too much time on this at the moment because I did go through it the other day. But there are voter reward pools. So there's Switch emissions, 122,000 available in the first week, I guess, the weekly budget, directed by votes. So voting in these pools. Oh, they've got more pools now. They had 4 pools, and now they got 7 pools now in the list. I guess people can add the pools, but that's in there. And only votes cast 98%. Oh, that's changed quickly, guys. So that was only at 3-5%. Remember. So it looks like some big players. You can ask who there. Some big players have voted on there. That's pretty interesting. But yeah, I'll leave it there. Because it's probably I don't want to give away too much there. But that is they got the Switch emissions and they got the voter rewards there from fees, I guess. So and that's relative to the vote share and the pools. So there's a bit of game theory there. All right, so that's kind of cool. And the locking, we haven't really looked at the burn. So we'd go do that. Let's do that because I want to see how many people have burned. Do they have the stats on here? I don't know if they do. That's one thing I'd like to see is the stats. I don't know. Brandon's not watching, but I'd like to see the burn stats on here. That'd be cool. So let's go to Switch. This is our last Switch lookup here at SwitchX. So you got Switch Dex aggregator and you got Switch liquidity provider now, V4. Pretty good. Oh, we got the pictures here. Oh, the pictures starting to show up. So that's the other thing they haven't got to get up is the imagery. They've got Switch here, so they've started to populate it. Website's here now, so that's all new. Good on you, Brandon. Now this unknown Dex is still not showing up as a Dex on the thing, so I don't know how long that will take to get done there. We'll keep a lookout for that. Pretty important to show up there at the top. Not sure if it takes a couple of days or what Dex screeners rules are, whatever. Oh wow, look at this, guys! Woo! So remember, we've got weekly rewards. So I know what's it, 122,000 we said was coming out. I think it was 122, was it? No, where was it? Where's it gone? Analytics? No. Rewards? What happened to the rewards? Vote? Oh, there. 122. But we start off at 15, ignoring the other 15 that got burned. We got 13. So we were at about 550,000 that was burned, and that was in the first couple of hours. And now we're at 1,220,000. So that's really good. I mean, at that rate of burning. However, I guess the rewards are relatively modest still. We've still got most of the rewards coming out in the first year, and then there's a halving, and 2.5 years is the distribution. So it's kind of cool. That's going to be important, I think, in terms of game theory and other things like that. All right, so kind of cool. That is Switch. Very nice there, Brandon. All right. I tell you one thing I like what Brandon does. He's going to be setting up a studio with Mike and everything. He's already given us an idea. He's going to be back streaming with his vlogging, which will be interesting. But I always like him when he's at the restaurants. Have you seen him vlogging at the restaurants? They're really cool. Always makes me hungry though, because he's like eating flapjacks and all sorts of fancy foods at the diner. It's really good though. Don't tell him. Don't tell him I said that. Don't tell him I said that. All right, so that is stuff happening here. Let's go look at Liberty Swap. Liberty Swap. Let's see what they're up to. The big Kraken projects. So, you know what I mean? Like, we're getting really good projects launching on Pulse Chain, guys, and we're trying to find the bottom in the Pulse Chain. We saw that earlier. So I don't know. I'm just feeling good about things. What about you guys? Let me know in the chat as well. So let's see here. We're going to go all the way back down here. I don't know how far back I have to go for Liberty Swap today. We might just go back to their good morning post. They normally do a good morning post. Maybe not this time. Maybe not this time. I don't know. Where are they? Where are they? 10 hours ago. How far back do we go, guys? How far back do we go? Back to our last comment, our last update. I don't know. 23 hours ago. Yeah, we weren't this far back, were we? Okay, let's go past here. No, we weren't ready near that. Well, 10 hours ago, they said, add more ETH and Pulse while continuing to buy back Peacock using protocol fees. So this is what I said. They're not using, so they said, month or 2 months ago, they said our fees are equivalent to like 10 million Pulse chain validators, right? So that's like 1 in 5 revenue. They don't use all of it to necessarily buy back Peacock, because they're buying back ETH and Pulse as well. So they've got a bit of a treasury going on there, which is really good for them, because they're doing, setting up pools and other things like that. We also see certain things coming over the bridge, so it's not always clear whether it's their own money or whether it's large users that are coming over using Liberty Swap or something. Add more ETH and Pulse while continuing to buy back Peacock using protocol fees. Yep. All we need is solid buyback and burn mechanism for Peacock, plus good market environment. Then we're golden. So it's a little confusing. Sometimes they're a little bit confusing with their updates, because they already talked about having some automations for Peacock anyway. So it's a little bit confusing, some of those. But it looks like they're doing, even though they've hinted at doing automation in the past, that they're still doing a lot of manual stuff. Never lose hope, keep your strong belief. So yeah, ready for war there. Up only, says Sean, absolutely. So they are definitely, I think they're definitely accumulating a lot in their treasury. That's kind of what my feeling is there, which is probably a smart move at the moment. Let's see here. What else do we got? 10 hours there. I'm not sure what that is. Building more bridges while keeping our own funds secured. Talking a bit about AI there, I guess. 9 hours ago, the newest version of ZKX wallet, which they just launched, that was their last big product, and of course they're upgrading that. We're expecting an upgrade, I guess, this weekend. It's being designed to run locally with our strongest security model. Cool. Using ZKX wallet with your hardware devices. We support plenty of them. Yep. What else have we got going here? Scroll back up here. Now, one of the funny things is that if you use the Peacock ticker, which is what's it called, a cash tag or something, Peacock shows up, but we don't have this for Pulse Chain, so you can't do it for Pulse Chain. It comes up with other products, so it's a bit of a shame. But Peacock shows up, which is useful. But we wish we had it for more of the Richard cause. Yeah, not sure there's anything. Yeah, so I really love this Crypto Coffee. He's obviously got a huge following, and he's really pushing the ZKX wallet, which I think is really great. So that's kind of cool as well. People are waking up. Let the flame of liberty lead you to Pulse Chain. Absolutely. I mean, that's really what the core of what they do, right? Is ushering people in. Crypto Coffee here. So how I started a public crypto wallet at the worst possible time. And I guess he's used the ZK1, the ZKX wallet. Thank you so much, Mr. Coffee, for trying our new product. There are many things we can do to improve Railgun OZK support, and we will make it work flawlessly in a short time. ZKX wallet will be in a strong product that can stand the test of time. Yeah. So he's got a 30-minute video on this, so you can go check that out from Crypto Coffee. What else? 3 hours ago, the most powerful strength of Pulse Chain. Yep, we all agree with all that. So let's scroll back up here. I'm just trying to look for their updates that they're specifically doing. Liberty Swap says it costs around $10 to $20 today to shield $100 into a Railgun balance. It only costs you 50 cents to do the same with fully sponsored ETH gas using Liberty Shield. So they've changed that a lot, haven't they? So there we go for the privacies. Pretty cool. So that is LibreSwap. So definitely well worth checking out. We solved the high fee problem for Railgun. ZKX wallet will make Railgun accessible for everyone. So, well worth downloading that. You can, if you want to test it out as a DGen wallet first and, get comfortable with it, there's things you can do there. But code will, as I understand, will be open source, and they're doing their first big upgrade on it, maybe this weekend. Kind of cool. So nice stuff happening there from a LibertySwap. Very, very cool. I don't know if we've got anything Richard Hart. Should we check him as well over here? Since we're checking, some of the big players. Richard Hart, the Lion Heart. Oh, that's not how you spell Richard Hart. There we go. What's he been talking about recently? Windows. Pulse Chain. He gave this out on the 14th, just a couple of days ago. Pulse Chain, PulseX, Hex, ProveX all have the more potential for maximum gains than Bitcoin does, because Bitcoin has a $1.6 trillion market cap already. It's been around for 17 years already. You're not an early adopter in BTC. Those 4 coins all do things that BTC can't. Pulse Chain has better potential, better technology, higher throughput, lower fees, is more secure, and is less owned by governments and banks. Hex did a 10,000x in price in the last 10 years. Doesn't make electricity companies and mining hardware manufacturers rich at the same cost of price. PulseX removes the middleman from trading. It's just you and the code. ProveX uses zero-knowledge tech to enable peer-to-peer trading and other kind of proofs. Better potential, better tech. So that's from Richard there. And certainly, as we looked in the price is friendly, isn't it? Very friendly, and it looks like it might be finding the bottom. Fingers crossed. Looks more likely than not, in my view. So once again, let's see where it goes. 8 weeks above 7,000. We've got the RSI down there 30. It's crazy. It's crazy. Diamond says, what Windows update is RX talking about? I don't know. I haven't read that one. I generally only read the ones that are around Pulse Chain. Generally, not all the time, but sometimes generally there. Because it's not really. I'm covering crypto, right? So I'm not really covering Windows. Occasionally I'll read some of those, but that's not where we're at right now. All right, so that is the live stream today. We're up to an hour and 2 minutes, so we're mixing and mingle. I think yesterday, what I do, I think 55 minutes or something. I hope you guys have enjoyed the show. It is always fun covering Pulse Chain, and we're dropping the alpha on Bitcoin and Ethereum, so you guys aren't missing anything watching the Crystal Night show, because you guys are getting all the good stuff that's happening. If we just focused on Pulse Chain alone, we'd be missing out on a lot of key things that are driving the crypto market. That would be a mistake. So that's why we don't do it. We cover the Bitcoin and Ethereum stuff as well, because that's where 90% or more of the money is flowing in, right? So you got to follow the money, or show me the money, as it is. So that is key, right? Also, the Magic Carpet Ride is tied into the price of ETH, right? Ether goes up, and then a Magic Carpet Ride becomes more probable if you hold position that the Magic Carpet Ride will happen in the future, which we do. We do happen to hold that position to some degree. Now, how it plays out, that's many questions around that, but certainly there are a few views on that one. Diamond Hands got the salute on. I like that, Diamond Hands. Very cool. Hexvader in house. What's up? What's up, Hexvader? Welcome to you too. Frank White is also here. Bang bang pulse gain. Good to see you, Frank White. We've got a little bit of time. Should we have a little look at your PLS start site? I think we should. Pulse Chain ecosystem map. Why not? Why not? Vinny's in the house. There's, hey all, let's go Peacock and PLSB. Absolutely, let's go. Looking good there. Pulse Bitcoin. Well, you can get it a bit cheaper today, can't you, Vinny? Today. All right, so let's have a look at PLS start. Now, this is a Pulse Chain map, ecosystem map of I wouldn't say all projects, but most projects that are probably functional, and it may be pretty close to all. Frank White can tell us how close he thinks it is, but certainly it is a pretty comprehensive, probably the most comprehensive ecosystem map on Pulse Chain. There are a few others out there, like Pulse Coin List has one, those sort of things, but this is probably the most definitive. So it's definitely worth saving to your favorites, because you can get quick references to all the different projects under different categories, from DEXs to DEX aggregators to bridges to DeFi to farms, all are here on the site. And I know he does his best to check all the links and everything else like that. Once again, you must always check out the links and contracts yourself. But that is a pretty amazing site that's been operating for quite a long time now. So there it is there, PLS Start Me from Frank White. and it is ticking away there. So kind of cool. And it covers everything from, like I said, everything there. Dex's communities as well. Nice to see the Kryptonite show on there. Very cool. Yeah, lots of other cool ones in the house as well. Lots of top projects like Vouch and Nexian, Function On, True Farms, Next, Emmett Farm. They're all here, guys, to find high yields. Let's have a quick look at the Emmett Farm. You can see Emmett Farm at the moment really is leading the way in DeFi income. DeFi income there. Why do I say DeFi? It's a bit more high risk, high return, but Emmett Farm is breaking all the rules because they've been existing well over a year and continue to offer high DeFi yield. I mean, incredible tokenomics and business management from Kairos. They've done an amazing job there. And you can see single-side staking. You can single-side Emmett tokens and earn ETH. So you're not even earning Emmett, you're earning ETH, and it's 140% APR. Pretty awesome, right? Pretty awesome. And that's over a year now. Pretty incredible. And then they have Emmett pools with the Richard Art cores, and that's pretty cool. So they're ticking away, all pretty high yields as well, under 25%. So pretty amazing stuff there. And then they have non-Emmett farm pools, like the Richard Harts. These obviously the yields are a lot lower when they're not tied to Emmett, naturally, because you want to get that pressure on Emmett. But they got DAI Pulse, Ink PulseX. So if you're holding those in, you can earn 13% APR just sitting in the pool. Obviously, you got impermanent loss issues relative to those, but I mean, if you're not too fussed with some of these, like PulseX, obviously there's ratio differences there, but yeah, other than that, you're earning 14%. Pulse Bitcoin's in here, all the big teams, Vouchers in there, Zero Knowledge Proof in there, Pulse Stores in there, Rhinify's in there, Ink Printers in there, True Farms in there, Pulp Tires is in there, all of those. Pump Tires has got some of the top, tokens like Top Hat, Peacock's in there, Morbius is in there, the gaming site. I mean, they're all in here. Community tokens, Gelato, Tetra. Tetra, of course, we gave an update about that the other day from Stu. That has got a launch window opening up over the next 6 weeks for Tetra and all the other products, including Signum Oracle, by, mid-June? And then, yeah, pretty awesome stuff happening. So the Grays are in there, one of the top communities, first DAO token. Vets, our non-profits, in there as well, with the Vets and the Hero. Crypto Paradise, one of our top KOLs with the Surf token. Impulse in there, I think that's an old Kairos project. Function On from Danny D, or Donny D, Danny off the Greece, Donny D there, Function On, Actuator, and Hocus Pocus, no permissions there. So we got Randy Alasky in the mix, and then Crispy Man as well from doing the Hex coverage, Nexion and Vox Farms as well, and so on. So, some high APRs and all those. Check them out. That is on Emmett Farm. So, there's some really good stuff here with DeFi happening on Pulse Chain. And what's the other one? True Farms, obviously doing some similar stuff there as well. So we'll quickly go on True Farms. But this is the idea. You can just hit one of these links, go look for some of the top DeFi yields, and it's all in one place, right? You can go check out all other projects as well, not just farms. But you can see here what's 143% single-side staking True Farm at the moment, earning ETH. And then you've got True Farm paired up with other projects earning, over 100% as well. So pretty exciting stuff there, even Emmett Farm on here. So kind of cool. So you can kind of see it's a great reference for everybody to use. So that is start.me, PLS Start. So Pulse Chain ecosystem app, pretty cool there. And that is from the one and only Frank White. Bang, bang, Pulse Gang. All right, I think that's kind of cool. Did you guys enjoy that? I enjoyed that. All right, so that is enough. An hour and 8 minutes. I'll catch you again on tomorrow's live stream. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Take care, everybody. Next week, we're going to get the big updates from the big DATs, a strategy for Bitcoin, Strive for Bitcoin, and also Bitmine immersion for Ethereum. So those big DATs announcements and the weekly updates will be about an hour and a half before the markets open on Monday. So, and we're expecting some strong results, particularly out of the Bitcoin side for next week. All right, hope you enjoyed it. Take care. And don't forget to subscribe, like, share, hit the bell. And if you want to join Strategy Club, the link's in the video description for that too, and get all the alpha all day long, every day. All right, take care, and bye for now. See you later.